Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to another episode of Edgewater, Saskatchewan by South Sask Modding and BC Bueller Farms. We are back here on our single-player save game. If you didn't catch the last stream, I think you can go watch the VOD back on Twitch. We were doing some spud plant, and we got that all done. I was just going to get the tractor and our pickup washed up here, because the pickup's soused up. Tractor's not so bad, but we might as well have it clean. It is summer, so might as well do some summer tasks. It's currently 63 degrees. Gonna get up to, I don't know what the high today is gonna be, 74? Gets warm. Damn. Anyways, we're gonna wash her up here, and then I think we're gonna go cut some hay. It's a little, the hay's a little premature, but I want to be able to get in that last cutting early enough before it gets too late in the season to cut it again. So this will be our second cutting. We had a good first cutting. We got some fertilizer laid back down on it to kind of spring it back up. I laid down quite a bit of nitrogen on it, more than I should have, so it better be a good cutting. Anyways, that's good. We'll wash this bugger up. We'll drag the windrower out, or the disc vine, the swather, the mower. Goes by many names. Oh, that's a nice shiny pickup right there. All right, let's move this thing out of the way here. I need to get that mower out. Jeez, I didn't even wash my planter before putting it away. We'll have to drag that out sometime and wash it. Frickin' guy. Heck, I didn't wash either of the planters, the spud planter or the corn planter. Good grief. Who is running this operation? Ooh. Head tracking's off. There we go. That's better. Woo! Look at this unit. This thing's even washed. I washed this thing before I put it away, and the quad track. I don't think I had this tractor in the last video, that 8950. All I had was the 8920. I did buy this thing, sending myself even further into debt. I think that's the theme of this series, is just sending random deeper and deeper into debt. And then, of course, I had to buy the spud planter. And I think in the stream, we replaced our Quonset with that as well, so I could fit the spud planter in there, because I had nowhere to put the spud planter. We had to put it inside somewhere. I wasn't going to leave that machine outside. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to mow this first field myself, and then I'm going to send them up there and have Courseplay do my next field. As you can see, we're not on our fully grown state. This is right here is the fully grown state, but we're gonna send it anyway, see how much crop we can get off of it. We'll at least do this one field. If I don't think it's good enough, we might just end up waiting. But I gotta set the mower right. This mower has a nice function to TED with so that the conditioner rolls are technically a second attachment. When you hop in this thing, you can see the front mower has two attachments on there in the top left corner. I'm not sure which is which. I think the front one's the mower, the second one is the tedder function. So that's kind of cool. You can't unattach them separately, but when you go to sell them, they will sell separately. So it's kind of a cool little function he built into this mower here. So I'm gonna set this to drop dry hay, actually. My rake isn't set as a tedder, so I'm just gonna set it as dry hay right away. I did my last cutting as my wet hay, so my wrapped bales, and I'm not dropping anything. There we go. Alright, had to go through my settings a little bit more. I didn't like what I had it set as. For some reason, I don't know why. I've never had it happen like that before. But anyways, we're off. I always cut into the regular grass a little more. But where I had my big cold storage shed, there was a little hayfield next to that, but that ended up being my machine overflow, so I'm not going to be cutting that for hay anymore, because it's not a big enough piece. And then with the amount of machines, and then my bale storage is over there, it's just not worth messing around with anymore, so. Which I really shouldn't be that picky about it, but I'm going to be. I shouldn't because I don't have enough money, but anyways, we're gonna get this mode and send this guy up to the next field and be on our way. Alright, we're just wrapping this up. Honestly, this field is mostly just end rows. I just as well keep cutting it in. I missed the spot. I might as well keep cutting it in a circle, but hell with it. We'll put in our few straight rows here. In the past, I've only done 2 end row passes on this, and it's okay. It's enough room to turn around, but I like having those extra 2 rows to turn around with the rake and baler and whatnot, so that's why I do it like that. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm hoping we see more mower and swather stuff coming out now that Edgewater's out and kind of setting the trend for swathing and whatnot. And now that Strix coming out for more swathing to be added to other maps, I'm kind of hopeful we'll see some more mods for it. I'm going to send this thing up to, is it field 27 west? That should be the west side of our, yeah, west side right there. Okay. I'm gonna have to get a raking tractor ready. Wherever that machine is, I don't have it ready. Ooh, we're in the ground. All right, we had the little 5150 hooked onto our processor there. So we're going to get her hooked up to the rake, and of course I have stuff parked in the way. That's the second theme of our streams and videos here, is it's not only sending me further into debt, but parking stuff in front of where I need to go. That's our next trend. Alright, that's hooked up. Alright, we'll park this thing here, and I'm going to go get that mower set up. Alright, we are getting pulled up to our next field here, and I still have this loaded up on course play. I should just save it. Good grief. Alright, let's, I don't even know how to save this stuff. It's been a while. Where does that stuff get saved? Oh, here we go. Create new folder. Mowing. And we'll save course. Okay, course name is Field 27. Honestly, in this save game, I have not been saving any of my courses for some reason. I don't know, it's easy enough to make a new one. And typically they should make themselves the same every time, but maybe not. Set him on first waypoint. And we'll let him go. I'm probably gonna fast forward today just to quote-unquote simulate drying conditions. I mean, realistically, typically you won't be raking and baling on the same day you mow. You may bale the same day you rake. In fact, you probably typically would, but not on the same day you mow. So we're gonna let this guy cut. I'm gonna go take care of some other chores off camera here. And I know this guy hates this sign here. Oh shoot, I turned him off. But anyways, we'll pick up on some raking adventures after a bit, so stay tuned. I lied. We're gonna do some other washing activities while we're letting that guy mow. I'm like a chicken with my head cut off. I think there's our third theme for the series. So the first one is sending myself further and further into debt. The second one will be parking equipment in my way. And the third one will be me randomly changing my mind on what I'm going to do in the video as we're recording. So there is no structure. We have no structure. So we're going to get this thing washed up, and then I'm going to equip it with a globe. This thing does have GPS equipped on it. And I added Green Star stuff to it as an edit. Maybe if we're lucky, K-Serious may want to add that stuff to it in the future. Probably won't add the stuff that I put on there, but he might do that. I had to add it to my quad track as well. That was the idea of my boy Drosty. I was getting this thing set up for spud row spacing, and he's like, we need the 7000 globe on there. I said, I'll take it one step further, and I'll put on the 3000 and the 6000 globes as well. So I figure with this size operation, I mean, it's kind of a far stretch to be running this much Green Star around, but like, I kind of like the 3000 globes, just the way they look, and a little bit older equipment, and it's a little bit more, slightly more modest, but I don't know. Should put it on my Combine too. Just everything gets Green Star. It's Oprah's favorite day is a Green Star. You get Green Star. You get Green Star. Everybody gets Green Star. So that's where I'm at. We're gonna throw a globe on this thing too. And why is it every time I start recording or streaming, I get plugged up? My nose is backing up bad. All right, customize. While we're on Continentals, how much would it cost me to switch? Because then I think I'm basically on that spacing there. Okay. Did I not have fenders on this thing? I think we're going to buy a set of fenders for it. We got to have fenders. Also, mirrors would be nice, but... Alright, front options, no. GPS. What the heck? This thing should have... Oh, it does. Okay, it has GPS equipped. I just need to add the 3000 globe. Sweet. I think that's it. Because, I mean, I've been spraying with this thing. I'd like to have GPS on my spraying rig, you know? You know, last time I ran my 86 series on the baler. I might throw this thing on the baler this time, just cause switch it up a little bit. My the 1586 is hooked up to. You can see it over there. It's hooked up to the bale wagons or the bale carts. So we'll just leave him on there, I think, and we'll hook this unit up to our baler. It's gonna be a baller baler unit. I hate that air sound when I let off the W key. A little better if I use my pedals. You can kind of finesse it a little bit. Give it that finesse. Try not to hit our hopper there. I'm not gonna say this was parked in my way, but it's kind of parked in my way. And manual attach is nice until you forget that you have it installed and you try to hit Q on something while you're in the cab, and it's like, why the heck is this not attaching? Then you remember, oh, I have manual attach. I'm a dip. That's me. I've done that several times. I love manual attach, and that's why TPF, he said that's why he doesn't run it. I get it. I shouldn't run it just for that, but I'm stubborn, so I'm gonna keep running it. And here's another machine parked in my way, but I'm not gonna. That's not a big deal. This thing was just tucked in nice, so this is a nice tractor. I love K-Serious for putting out these nice older machines. I really would like to see him convert his MXs. I think that would be a nice future upgrade to the farm. Not that MXs are exactly the nicest of tractors. I think I'd prefer a boxcar over an MX, but I think that'd be a nice farm progression for the place, so maybe I could always just convert it. I don't think it'd be too difficult. But we're gonna pull this thing out and make like we're gonna look it over, so. Now, when we get back, I think we are gonna be raking and on the next day, so. We will see you guys shortly. It is the next day. We got this all mowed up, and I've already got a good portion of it raked. We're just going to finish this off and get to some baling. Another thing that we had happen here is we had some calves. We had some 40. So apparently all of the cows were successful in calving, which is good. They were all perfect health. So I'm not sure how that works if they're partial health, if it decreases their chances of calving. I'm sure it does. And it might decrease with age as well. I'm not sure. But I guess we'll see as we go along. So I'm going to be raising them until they're about 6 months old. And then they'll be, quote unquote, weaned off. And I think I'm just going to sell them this go around. I think the next time we have some calves, I'm going to be maybe keeping them to feed out. And we'll have some feeder cattle, some feeder fat cattle. I'll have to place down some pens for that. But I've got some younger cows that should be having calves in another 6 months, I believe. So we'll have a batch of 20 if all goes well here before long. So looking forward to that. Trying to think what else. I feel like there was something else I had going on that I forgot to mention earlier. Oh, I did put up a new farm sign. We are called Highway 69 Land and Cattle. I don't know if any of you guys remember my gameplay or my playthrough on Gresham. We had a little server going on the Gresham, Nebraska map in 19 with the boys, and my livestock operation was called Highway 69 Custom Feeders, or Custom Feeding, I believe. So I kind of copied that and brought her over here. I had a rock instead of a normal farm sign. Kind of had the farm logo and stuff engraved on it, so I took that in the blender and kind of switched up my logo a little bit and made a new one. So now it's Highway 69 Land and Cattle. We brought that back. If we go drive back by the farm entrance, we'll get to drive by that. It needs just a little adjusting on the logo. That's like the painted in part of the logo, but oh, I'm taking in part of my second window there. Oh well. The one thing that I don't quite like, or is a slight issue with that mower swather, is that the tether function on it tends to grab windrows when you don't want it to. So when you're turning around, even when the header is lifted, the tether function, I think, still wants to grab hay and toss it around. So you'll see at my closest inside end row, you'll see some parts of the rows are kind of messed up there. That's why. It's a minor detail. I kind of look past it. Don't worry about it too much, but it is just a slight annoyance. But I think it's well worth it to have that tether function anyways. I don't know. I feel like that's just a game limitation. And, I mean, maybe if the header lifted higher, maybe that would be a fix for it. I guess I could play with that and see if it does, but I feel like that's just a game limitation. Like, there's only so high it could go. I could be wrong, though. I can maybe suggest that to Mr. Bueller and see what he says. I'm not sure if he encountered that issue or not. Oh, also another thing I forgot to mention earlier is, or I guess I didn't forget to mention it earlier, but I remember what I was gonna say is this cutting of hay, even though it's like a state behind fully harvestable, even though it does say ready to harvest, I am getting a better yield. So throwing that nitrogen on definitely helped. But I threw on extra. I didn't do the automatic spray rate to give it just what it needed. I threw down extra so we can utilize it through the next cuttings, and I'm hoping it'll keep that on there. I'm gonna check that actually. How's the nitrogen looking now? Oh, nitrogen. I have outdated data. I need to repurchase that, and I also adjusted my prices here. Okay, nitrogen data. So yeah, we're still holding on to quite a bit of N on there, which is what we want. So I don't know, just I think that's what I'm gonna do from now on. Whenever I go to spray my hay ground, I'm just gonna dump on extra. Because I mean, if it's gonna stay hay for several cuttings, maybe a couple of years, you don't know why you wouldn't just do the job once. Yeah, you're throwing down extra fertilizer that one time, but I think it ends up being less passes you then end up having to take with the sprayer. So just why not do it once and be done? I'm not sure. I don't think it's ends up being wasteful. Like, I think in real life there could be some repercussions to doing that, but I think just with the game and oh dear, there's deer. But I think just with the game and how precision is set up and uses nitrogen, I don't think there's really any waste, and it doesn't seem like there's a downside or a hit to the yield by having the extra nitrogen. It just doesn't use it right away. So maybe that's just a little helpful hint for those that are putting up quite a bit of hay. You can just dump on extra fertilizer, whether you broadcast it, spray it, or put down some NER. I think maybe, I don't know, this is my second year I've had this hay on here. I think maybe I'll run two or three, I don't know if I should do 2 to 4, somewhere in there. We'll run on hay on this ground, and then we'll switch it up to something else and move our hay ground elsewhere. I'm not sure. We'll be winging that. I'm not sure kind of what's standard for rotating out your hay ground, but I think that's another thing the game doesn't really take into account, is how long you have your hay there. I mean, one way I could do it is so the first go around, I'll just dump the nitrogen down on it, and once it's depleted, then maybe I switch it to the next crop. I don't know if that'd be the best way to do it or not. But we're gonna wrap up this raking here, and we will move on to baling. So we will zip on through here, and we'll catch you in a little bit. Alrighty, that concludes our raking, and I didn't mention I did get that little piece all done, raked up and baled up, so we don't have to worry about that. We'll get this guy folded up and sent back to the ranch. Cattle farm. Okay, yep, he's on his line. Beautiful. Let's hop in this bugger and be on our way. Should have thrown a baler monitor into this thing while I was adding stuff to it. That'd be kind of handy. But let's see how much hay we can get on here. Yeah, my first cutting, we put down some wet hay and wrapped it. I think. So yeah, this cutting we're putting down dry hay. I think the next cutting, this should get me more than enough dry hay, because I mean the first cutting got me more than enough fermented stuff or wet stuff. So this should most certainly get me way more dry hay than I could ever use. So I have leftover hay from last year too, so we need to sell that, and then we'll sell whatever extra hay we put up this time. And then the next cutting, we should be able to get one more cutting off of this ground this year, and I think I'll put that up to wet hay again, just because it pays that much better, and it really doesn't take that much more work to wrap it. It's one extra step, but the payoff, the return on that wrapper investment is just it's amazing. It's a big jump. So I'm gonna utilize that, and hopefully that'll dig us out of some more debt. And while I'm thinking about it, I need to sell the rest of that hay. I'll probably do that off stream, off camera here, whenever we're done, because that's halfway boring content, loading a freaking trailer and then unloading the trailer. Yeah, nobody likes seeing that, right? And then you'll get Elong of 7L Farms. He'll just be there rating my stack, and I know the rating will be less than a 5 out of 10, because he's the expert. Nobody stacks or loads bales like he does. He is the self-proclaimed Master. Even though we all know he just uses auto load, but no, I'm just kidding. I hope he doesn't listen to that part because he's gonna come at me. I think one of my future upgrades will be a square baler as well. I think once we start feeding more cattle, I'll be getting more and more out of the round bales. I'm probably still going to put up my straw as rounds, just for the simple fact of that's what the processor really utilizes. I don't think that Hay Buster would like squares too much realistically, and then loading squares onto that would also be a pain unless I switched processors for something that could handle it, like the Kuhn Primor or something like that, or however you pronounce that, Primor, I'm not sure. But yeah, upgrade to squares. I think they're easier to handle in game. Real life, I think I would kind of prefer rounds more so than not. But yeah, I think when I start needing to put up more hay, squares will be the way to go, just for the simplicity and the function of it. But not until I'm actually like doing some feeder cattle. I think the cow calf stuff, I prefer just using the rounds. That and these big deer round bales we're putting up, they hold quite a bit more than any of the squares I can put up too. So I don't know. It's gonna be a tough call. We'll see. But that, and maybe I end up doing more hay as cash crop too. So a lot of what I'm already putting up is going to sell. So I don't know. It might be better to just handle the more bulk stuff in squares. I don't know. I'm rambling right now. I'm thinking out loud. This is what goes on in my brain when I'm not actually speaking. I'm thinking about a million ways to do things. In fact, I have a set of notes in my phone of how I'm running this operation. My crop rotation, or a few options for my crop rotations are in there. I have like 5 different ways I can rotate my crops for different scenarios, or you know, if I want more one crop versus another, I can kind of adjust that rotation. Also have my livestock lifespan and stuff in there. Like I have in there that the cattle, they start reproducing at I think it's like 24 months, and then I think it takes 9 months for them to calf after they're bred, and then, which I don't have all that confirmed, but I think that's how they have it set up in game. And then I know I'm going to, I think you could do any way you want, but I think at 6 months I'm going to pull the calves out of there. For now, the calves are gonna stay in the pen for 6 months, and then I'm gonna pull them out at 6 months. And this first batch, like I said earlier, they are going to get sold right away. We're gonna haul them off and sell them. But I think next year, as I said earlier in this video, at 6 months old, the next round I think I'm just gonna keep them. Maybe some of them will be fed out to finish, and maybe some of them I'll keep as replacement heifers, and we can add them to our cow-calf herd too, and expand that, and then that'll give us even more calves in the future to then feed out. So hoping to kind of make that a booming business. Also looking forward to doing more spuds in the future. I think I'm gonna focus more of my crop side on the spuds. Maybe not like fully focus on it, but I'm certainly gonna add more potato acres next go around. As long as this year goes well, that's kind of dependent on that. I'm kind of a little wary about spud harvest in single player, but I'm thinking we can run a lot of it on horseplay and whatnot. Hopefully, I'm probably gonna do the defoliating / windrowing part by hand, which could be tougher than setting horseplay after that, but we'll figure it out. I'm not too worried about it. We'll come up with some way to make that work. But if I do my windrowing on Courseplay, which should work. I know Drosty said that the windrowers do not like being hired hands, like just the standard in-game hired worker. But Courseplay might like them a little better. We'll see. But yeah, if we set it up on Courseplay, we might be able to use a similar course to then harvest on, and then I might be able to keep trucks running, or run the trucks on Courseplay. I'm not sure how that works. We'll have to see if the trucks will find the harvester or not. I can't remember. I don't think grain carts work on Courseplay, do they? Or is there maybe someone, if you know in the comments if you guys have gotten trucks or grain carts to come up to harvesters, let me know. I could always just find out when we get there, but it'd be kind of nice to know ahead of time so I can kind of plan how I want to do it. If I'm not gonna bother setting that stuff up on Courseplay if I can, or the harvester on Courseplay if I can then run the trucks on Courseplay, because I'm gonna be doing one or the other by hand. Also gonna try to see maybe I want to run a cart. I don't know, run a spud cart. That could be another investment, but especially when I go to seed, I've watched a few videos and I've seen some guys use those as their tenders. Other guys, they load trailer loads through a conveyor and then into a big planter loader, a loader bucket that's about the width of a spud planter, which I thought was kind of cool. That'd be kind of fun to build one of them. Be pretty easy. Or just use the biggest bucket in game and do that. I don't know. I've been looking for ways to make the potato operation as realistic as we can. And there's also a potato seed, or a seed potato mod on the mod hub, up there on the hub, that includes some buildings and placeables with, like the factories or what's it called? Productions here. We take a look here. Yeah, the potato storage and sorting shed. This is one of them. It's got I can spin around here. Yeah, so it has sorting stuff here, and it loads them into pallets and whatnot. Or you could just buy the individual sorters. I think that'd be pretty cool to do in the future. So we might be looking into that. It's not. I don't think it's quite as handy as just bulk storage. But I think we're gonna try it anyways, just to add another fun thing to do in the game. And because I mean, I do at my current point in this save game, I'm doing a lot of fast forwarding now. That's mainly because I'm running 5-day months, but I should really run shorter months. But the way my Maze Plus is set up, it's best to run it on 5-day months. So that's why I set my speed up to 3x, or even more. I could probably set it up to 5x speed here. Wrong button. Yeah, 5x speed. There's a great demand at Northern Mill. Too bad I don't really have anything to sell. I think it'd be best for me to run on like 2 or 3-day months. I'm not sure what all the options are, but oh well. We're just gonna send it. But I think that's enough rambling for now. We're gonna get this all baled and see you guys at the end of that. So yeah. All right, we're reaching the end here. I'm not sure if you saw, but I had to go and clean up some of the little smudges I missed. But that's going to be it for our episode today. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and hope you guys have been enjoying the series. If you haven't been checking out the streams on Twitch, make sure to stop by over there. If you see I'm live, and turn your notifications on so you know when I do go live. And I'm going to go around the outside of that bale. If I don't put her in the drink, hopefully. But, yeah, I think that's it. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day, and we'll see you all next time.